If you're trying to do a better job with your money, today I have 5 life choices to build wealth fast. My name is Michael from michaelsafes.com and welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope you're staying safe. In today's video, I'm going to look back on 5 decisions that I made that changed my financial life forever. And with each of these decisions, I noticed a few things in common. Success factors. They are hard work, timing, and flexibility. So as I go through this list, not everything you're going to want to apply to your life. Some of it you will. But think about how hard work, timing, and flexibility can help you reach your goals faster. Let's get started. Number 1, avoid going into student loan debt. The way that I did this was simple. I first went to a community college, transferred those credits to a state school, both affordable options. Also, I lived with a family member to avoid room and board costs. And finally, I worked part-time to earn income. With everything, all that together, my college costs were $10,000. Can you believe that? For a 4-year degree. This was back in the early 2000s. I know it is nothing like that now. But the lesson remains. You can still go to a community college first and transfer your credits to a state school if you are trying to get through college on a budget. This, I think, is all about just measuring your expectations. There are going to be people in your high school or your child's high school who can go wherever they want because the family has the means to pay for it. But if that's not your family, you need to find a different path. Community college, state school, that's the cheapest way to go. Otherwise, look for scholarships, financial aid, and if you do have to take out student loans, go for those federal loans and stay away from private student loans. Number 2, worked 2 jobs and moved up the career ladder. Now, when I graduated from college, it took a while to find jobs. It took me 5 months to find a job in my chosen field, and when I did, it only paid $10 an hour to start. It was a 2-year contract, and once I finished there, I made a move to a bigger city and a much better salary. And then after a little bit of time at that second job, I made another move and increased my salary again. Now, this was all strategic. I was trying to grow not just my skills, but also my income. And in addition to that, I worked part-time throughout much of my 20s. And what I did is I waited tables generally. Now, I'm in my mid-30s now, so I can have a little time to look back. It is much harder to work 2 jobs when you are in your 30s because you have more going on in your life. It was no sweat for me to work late at my regular job and then turn around and work early mornings at the restaurant. But now I can't imagine how difficult that would be. So my tip is this: if you are in your 20s, go ahead, use that energy and build your income when you are younger because you're going to have more obligations and more responsibilities as you get older, and you may not want to work 50 or 60 hours a week. You may want to work just 1 job as you get into your 30s and beyond. The third life choice is that I paid off my mortgage in 2 years. Now, I don't want to get into this in too much detail in this video because I have a separate video on my mortgage payoff. I'll link to that in the description below. But what I want you to focus on here is those success factors: hard work, timing, and flexibility. Think about that. Hard work is that I worked a full-time job and a part-time job during the mortgage payoff. Timing, I purchased at the right time, right after the Great Recession ended. This was back in 2010. And flexibility is that I purchased a condo that was a little smaller than what I liked, and it wasn't in a brand new building. So I made a few compromises in order to get that overall great deal. If you have any type of debt, whether it is a mortgage, student loans, credit cards, think about hard work and flexibility. With hard work, can you get a second job? Is there anything you can do online? Are there any gigs? And you can use the extra income that you make to apply towards your debt. And flexibility. Can you look at your budget and then cut expenses in any places? Use the savings there to put toward the debt. Hard work and flexibility are going to be your path toward getting out of debt faster. Number 4, started saving for retirement early. Now, once I had a healthy emergency fund, a few months of living expenses, I began to focus more on investing. With that $10 an hour job, I was not able to contribute to a company 401k. But around age 25, I was making better money. I started to think about investing in my 401k as well as a Roth IRA. Back then, it was about 13 to 15% of my salary, but once I paid off the mortgage, I was age 27 when that happened, I was able to supersize those savings, and for several years after that, maxing out my 401k as well as a Roth IRA. I know most of you won't be prepaying your mortgages, that's fine. Just concentrate on that 401k, getting up to that company match and doing more if you can, as well as a Roth IRA. The key here is to make it automatic, have the money come straight out of your paycheck into those accounts every pay period. And if you start in your 20s and in your 30s, you're going to have a lot of time for that money to grow, and you're going to be better for it when retirement comes along. The way that I like to track my retirement savings is with Personal Capital. It has free tools with the Personal Capital account for you to kind of analyze your retirement and look at the scenarios and see if you are on track to retire when you want to, and maybe even retire a little bit early. Number 5, reduce materialism and embrace minimalism. This is my favorite one from the list, and I'm not a retail therapy type of guy. I think this is because of the way that I was raised. If you're anything like me, you got gifts at Christmas, Easter, your birthday, but not too much in between. Whereas some of your neighbors, they may have had a new toy every week. At the time, maybe that was frustrating, but it's something that I've grown to appreciate because it has helped me be a lot more conscious about my spending. When I make a purchase, I ask myself 2 questions. Is this a want or is this a need? And if it's a want, is it going to make me happy? Retail therapy can be pretty dangerous. If you go shop, you may feel better for a few hours, but if there is any underlying anxiety or depression, you're going to be right back in that spot after a very short period of time, and you're going to have less money to show for it. Instead, I know it's a very millennial thing to say, I like to focus on experiences over stuff. I've always had a plan A, B, and C for my life, and I think that you should too, because things are never perfect. The 5 life choices that I talked about in this video, they've put me on a solid footing so that I've been able to roll with the punches when there's been some problems in my personal or financial life over the past 10 years. Your life choices may be very different from mine, but focus on those 3 success factors: hard work, timing, and flexibility. How can you use those to build wealth fast? My name is Michael from michaelsaves.com. Keep watching here on YouTube. I have a lot more videos and more money saving information on my blog, michaelsaves.com. Thank you for watching.